Welcome to week one of our NFL picks show. We're back. NFL is here. We're coming off of a very solid year last year. We had about a 59% hit rate on our locks. The format for this year, we're going to go ahead and just give you three picks each, and one of the picks will be our lock of the week. So let's just get right into it.
Get into it. Let's do
We
it.
made it.
We're
We
back,
made it,
baby.
boys. We made
Six
it.
Figures Club. We're back.
All right. So the first game that we have a pick on here, Alex and I'll start us off. I'm taking the Steelers +3 against the 49ers. You kind of have to shop around what book to get that number at. It's 2.5 a lot of places, but you can find 3, specifically at Barstool. The 49ers lost a ton of talent this offseason while not really gaining anybody. They have a mediocre at best offensive line. That's one of the areas they got hurt the worst. Purdy barely played this offseason after dealing with his injury. Kittle banged up. He might not be playing this week. San Francisco lost their defensive coordinator. The Steelers, on the other hand, they played throughout the preseason. Their starters, they all pretty much played, and they look pretty great. So they were 8-2 in games where TJ Watt was healthy, and they were 1-6 when not healthy last year. I think the Steelers win this game outright, but I will take the points with the +3 at home against this very, very overrated San Francisco 49ers team. I believe they're probably the most overrated team in the NFL.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of that a little bit, home dogs, gotta love a home dog in week one, and especially Mike Tomlin in particular. 15-4-3 ATS as a home dog. You mentioned a lot of the stuff that the 49ers got going on. Purdy barely played in the preseason, coming off that elbow. Obviously, until this morning, we thought that they would be without Nick Bosa as well, potentially, but he will be playing. On the other side of the ball, the Steelers have a much improved defense, and they added to that O-line, which they needed to tremendously, which they did in the offseason and the draft. And just on top of that, right now, 44% of the bets and 85% of the money are on the Steelers to cover that 3 or that 2.5, wherever you get it. But obviously, if you find that 3, you take that 3 because we know key numbers here. So, yeah, Steelers +3.
But the Steelers are winning this game. But yeah, get the +3 if you can. But if not, just take that money line.
A little sprinky.
Yeah, they're winning that game.
All right. Well, I'll take this second pick here. First one of the year. I'm looking to go 1-0 right here. Going with maybe one of the best teams in the NFL with the Eagles -4. I think they're still going to play angry that they lost that Super Bowl. I'm not worried about the preseason and them being rusty and all of that nonsense. They're going to come out hot. They're going to come out angry, and they're going to win big. So I'm taking the Eagles here -4.
I am right there with you, Nick. I am also on the Eagles -4. The thing with, everyone's saying the Eagles defense got a little bit worse this year, but look who they're playing. They're playing the Patriots, whose offense I am not scared of at all. Patriots are going to try to control the game by running the ball. They have no weapons on the outside. You think Juju Smith-Schuster's a wide receiver 1, you need to go get your head checked because he's not. Other than that, they lost Jacoby Myers. They have no other weapons on that offense besides Ramondre Stevenson. Mac Jones is still the quarterback. Patriots were terrible last year. And to give you some just stats, because that's what I like to throw at you, in these games, the Philadelphia Eagles are 8-3 against the spread in the last 11 against New England. I understand different teams, whatever it might be. It's not the same team, whatever. Doesn't matter. Also, a trend that's going against me, which I think reverts and, against the regression here. Super Bowl losers week 1 are 0-12 against the spread following next year. Not a great look, but this Eagles team was one
great thing to defend your case there.
Come on,
I'm just saying.
That's the wrong stat.
No, it's a regression here. It doesn't matter. I'm not scared of it. I'm throwing it out there because I'm not scared of it. I think it's just a random stat.
It's a trap.
It's not a trap.
Not
Take
a
the
trap.
Eagles -4. I think the Eagles win this by at
Eating
least
the
2
cheese.
touchdowns.
I mean, if you look
You're-
at Bill Belichick teams, though, like you win and lose against the Patriots in the trenches.
You
Eagles
guys
have
are
the best
totally
offensive line,
eating
and
the
then you
cheese.
have
The best defensive line.
Jalen Carter, Fletcher Cox, and Jordan Davis on the
Yeah,
other
that
side.
secondary very overrated. The defense
Who?
on the Eagles.
Who's going to tear them up?
Yeah.
Nobody?
Hunter Henry. Watch
Oh,
out.
my
Okay.
gosh.
Oh, God.
I'm not
Okay.
afraid of Hunter Henry.
Yeah, no. If it was a different team, I'd be with you.
Yeah.
I'd like maybe say, okay, yeah, I'm scared of their offense. I'm not scared of the Patriots offense by any means. They're a
I don't think they
middle
could put up
team.
30 points.
It's going to
No,
be
no,
an
the Eagles will.
uglier game, I think, than
Nope.
you might think.
I think Eagles win by 14. So I'm also going to take the Eagles -13.5 too. So
Corey's on like a crazy hot streak right now, and this is, I think it's unfortunate that it has to end week 1 of the NFL season.
the fact that you have to even say that out loud is just blasphemy. Like you don't say that to someone who's having a good run. So I hope you lose every single bet this week, PB.
Okay.
There, I said against you too.
All right, let's reel
Corey,
it
it
in.
had to
Let's
come
reel
to
it
an
in.
end somewhere. R.I.P. All right.
What else we got?
Pick number 2 here. I'm taking the Falcons -3.5 against the Panthers. Number 1 overall quarterbacks picked in the draft are 3-13 in their first career start, and they have lost the past 8 straight. Every single one of the Panthers wide receivers is on the injury report. You had DJ Chark, Terrence Marshall, Adam Thielen. I mean, it wasn't even that, great of a wide receiver core to begin with, but now they're all, Thielen's like turning 80 this year, and, he's not going to hold up. The Panthers are just in a very ugly situation. The offensive line has not looked very good. I'm also not a Bryce Young fan to begin with. So it's an easy fade of him for me. And the Falcons, I believe it's going to, the Falcons are Saints. They're going to win that division. And I think the Falcons will surprise. They've been trading for a lot of players. They've been spending a lot in free agency. I think they're a bit underrated here. And I think they cruise to victory against the Panthers.
I'm excited to see the Falcons defense. I mean, they had AJ Terrell and Grady Jarrett, obviously, but then you go and get Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties in the league, traded for Jeff Okuda. And then they got Bijan.
The
on the
offensive
other side
line
of the ball.
is just mean too. Like Bijan,
all first round picks.
They're just gonna run all over the Panthers.
Yeah, they're going to be good I think they won the offseason, so I like that pick.
All right. Next, Nick, what do you got here in this Broncos Raiders game?
All right. We got the Mile High City getting the first dub of the year under new coach Sean Payton. They got the altitude. They don't have Jerry Jeudy, but that's not going to matter. Cortland Sutton's going to get back into his form from 2 years ago when he was actually good. I think Marvin Mims and Dulcich will be featured a lot in the offense this week, so I'm excited to see them. And to be honest, the Raiders are nothing to write home about. I'm not afraid of Jimmy G and Devontae Adams. I think Surtain matches up perfectly for, anyone who could potentially match up against Devontae. So I'm expecting the Broncos defense to come in strong, and I like the spread here. So taking the Broncos -3.5.
There's a lot of division games opening up the year this year, which is crazy to think about. But that's another one where those teams are very familiar with each other. So, yeah, I like that. I also would take the under in that game too, I think.
Yep.
All right, Alex, we got Jags versus Colts. We got a Colts fan in here, so
Yeah.
Wow.
Taking the Jags -3.5. You can grab that at Barstool here. Since 2008, Corey, the Colts are 2-12-1 straight up and 1-13-1 ATS in week 1. Now you bring in Anthony Richardson, who has had the fewest college starts by a first-round QB over the last 20 years, tied with Mitchell Trubisky and RIP Dwayne Haskins. On top of that, I'll start here. PB and Nick, can you name any of the Colts starting cornerbacks?
they're garbage, and I couldn't name one. I knew the one that's got, gambled, and now he's on the Eagles, but
Yeah, he's not there anymore.
that's it.
Rock Yashin's gone too. I don't know.
Not there anymore.
I know it's dust. Like their secondary is
It's
just
bad.
Corey?
Who's going to guard Calvin Ridley?
nobody.
Corey, Corey.
Kellen Moore. I mean, he's our nickel. So if you want to count that,
The
Juju.
coach of the
Kellen
Brents.
Moore? You mean
the
Kenny
coach
Moore?
of the Chargers is guarding Calvin.
Yeah.
yeah, Kellen
You
Moore.
don't. It's Kenny Moore. Okay?
I know
you
who
should
it
know
is.
your own team.
I know it is. It's
Yeah.
Juju Brents and
Yeah, that's why.
Jalen
Flowers.
Jones.
Jalen Jones, not Flowers.
2nd and 7th round rookie picks. All right. So going up against Calvin Ridley, Christian Kirk, Evan Ingram, ETN, Tank. I mean, the Jags are built for now, and I think the Colts are built for the future. And I see Anthony Richardson just not doing what he needs to do early on. He's going to have to get reps. He's going to have to get, I mean, on top of being a rookie QB who obviously needs to see NFL game speed, he's barely had any college starts. So I think they're going to struggle early on. And I think Calvin Ridley puts the Jags offense in a space to succeed week in and week out. And I don't think the Colts are going to be able to keep up with them. So yeah, give me Jags -3.5.
Love the take, and I'm doubling down on it for my lock of the week. First lock of the season here. T-Law is that guy. I mean, he broke out at the end of last year, no debating that. But something to add, new QB, new coach for the Colts, running up against a hot Trevor Lawrence and Doug Peterson, who does not lose divisional games easily. It's just a recipe for disaster for Indy to start the year. So I'm glad they're close to home. They won't have a somber bus ride home regretting their whole season. So, and I think all we really need to see is, Jonathan Taylor, their star player, obviously doesn't believe in the team. So why should we?
Well, since we're on this game, and this is my lock of the week, is I'm taking.
Well, hang on. Let's.
No, he can
Go
do
ahead.
it.
Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I guess it makes sense to
Yeah,
go.
let
him
him
go.
let him rebuttal here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
rebuttal.
So I usually wait to take the Colts, but this is a trap game, as PB likes to say, for the other side. I am taking Colts +4.5 here. This is a division game. If Alex loves to ramble off all the stats. Colts, 1-2 against the spread. Where the fuck it is?
1-2. It's a little worse than that.
It doesn't matter what it is because
It's like 12 years of losing.
Oh,
The Colts are 5-0 straight up in the last 5 games against the Jaguars at home. Understand different teams, doesn't matter. Colts always play the Jaguars well at home. It's home opener. Lucas Oil is going to be rocking. Yes, Alex named our terrible corners, but our linebacking core is good. Our defensive line is good.
what about your quarterback? Do you like him, Corey?
Our quarterback is great. So, in terms of where this game is going to be, it's going to be controlled on the Colts side. Colts are going to run the ball, and the Colts are going to end up winning this game, probably by, a field goal. I would assume Matt Gay is going to come in for a 45-yard field goal, win the game. So taking the Colts 5-0 straight up. 5-0 straight up against the Jags at home. They played the Jaguars extremely well at home. So
Oh, do you know who
Here's
your
the thing.
starting running back is, or is
Yeah.
that in question too?
no, it's Deion Jackson.
His starting running back is Anthony Richardson, and that's just the fact. Like Anthony Richardson will have like the most rushing yards on that team.
I mean, they're going to have to pass like 100 times a game. He's going to have like 3 interceptions. So
Well, here's the thing, Corey. I like the pick. I won't touch this game with a 10-foot pole because I like the Jags a ton. But I also like Anthony Richardson. Unlike you, you have this weird dynamic where you're
I
like,
said he's great.
"What you? We can't go there. We have to stay on track." We had a whole offseason arguing about that guy, and you were not very pleased. But yeah, I don't mind the pick because I do think it's a little trappy, but I won't touch that game. All right. We'll move on to our final picks here. My lock of the week, Seattle Seahawks -5.5 against the Rams. Cooper Kupp is out. They'll be trotting out 5th-round rookie Puka Nacua, Tutu Atwell, who's like 150 pounds wet, and Tyler Higbee. And that's who the offense going against. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, Nick Gibbet.
So close.
I don't know. I just had
close.
aneurysm.
JSN.
And then Kenneth Walker and Sharp, just one of the best offenses in the NFL against that. And then on top of that, the Rams, like Jalen Ramsey's gone. Donald's older. Like this Rams team without is so bad. And I think Seattle could just absolutely beat the brakes off of the Rams here. I think they also have a very underrated offensive line due to the Seahawks. And I think they're the best team in the division. Seahawks underrated, 49ers overrated. And yeah, they'll cruise to victory. Easiest bet of the week.
Corey, you
All
want to give yours?
Round it out, Corey.
No, I already
Oh
went.
no,
through-
no, we
you
got
already went.
Alex.
Yeah.
Alex, you go with
Alex,
your
you
lock.
rounded out.
All right. My lock of the week is going to be the Monday night game. Bills going into New York, into MetLife, -1.5. I think there's going to be some growing pains for Rodgers in those young skill position groups. I don't think he got enough looks with them in the offseason for them just to click immediately. And then on top of that, their O-line is going to be struggling, I think, all year. There was talks that they were going to pick up Bakhtiari. That didn't happen. I really do think the Bills pass rush isn't without Von Miller isn't what it was last year until he comes back. But the Bills have the lowest roster turnover in the NFL and are 14-6 ATS week 1, which is the most profitable team in the NFL. Week 1, I think these against the spread, these teams that have been playing together for a couple of years now are just ready to click earlier, ready to get in motion earlier. And I think that the Bills are, they had so much talk going into last year. They've been a little bit more quiet this year with their finish. But I think they come out and they make a statement on Monday night, and everyone remembers who the Buffalo Bills are. So, yeah, give me them lock of the week, -1.5.
Very nice. I like
with all that Hard Knocks hype,
Right.
and some fish maybe.
All right. I got my final pick here. I know we kind of bounced around here, but this is my second pick. I am taking the Dolphins Chargers game over 50.5. Two very high powered offenses going at each other. No, the one I do lean Chargers to win this game, and I was going to take them -3. But the one thing that I like the Chargers a lot. They're like, again, my dark horse team for this. I'm not even a dark horse team for the Super Bowl, but I just think, the one thing that does scare me where the Dolphins may not be able to keep up is their offensive line is not very good at this point in time. And the Chargers do have a pretty good pass rush. But on the opposite side, I don't think, the Chargers secondary isn't like something. I mean, it's good. It's middle of the road. And then on the Dolphins side, their defense, their secondary, I know they're without Jalen Ramsey and they still have, what's his name? Xavier Howard, right? Yeah. So I like the Chargers here, but just because I think both games are going to be, I think the game's going to be high scoring. I'll take 50.5.
That's some track meet football right there.
Yeah.
Especially with guys that can just score so quickly. Like,
Yeah.
pretty much all, like, four of the
Everyone.
receivers on both. Yeah, everyone can just
Yeah.
score so quickly.
Yeah.
All right. That'll wrap up our first week 1 betting show. We'll be back next week. And we're going to start, unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to it this week, but we're going to be doing our daily fantasy breakdowns as well. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.